watching live coverage of the 2025 U-18 Curling Championships. We're at the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon. My name is Sean Joyce, joined for this afternoon's broadcast by Daryl McKee. And we are going to be featuring a maritime matchup here this afternoon. One of the Nova Scotia women's teams playing against one of the Newfoundland women's teams, and there's a couple of teams for both. An interesting format here with the U-18s. There's 21 teams, both the men's and the women's, so some territories, some provinces get to send more than one rep.
Yeah, it really gives the exposure to more teams at this level, which is great. And you know, getting to play in a venue like this and against all the other provinces in the country is fantastic for those young curlers.
The teams had a draw to the button to determine who would have last rock here in the opening end. It was the Newfoundland team winning the draw to the button. Nova Scotia getting us started, and this is the lead, Lily Mitchell.
Okay, it's staying out there. Line's good. 14,
Second for the Nova Scotia team is Anna McNutt. Stephanie Atherton is the third. Cassidy Blades is the skip. Kevin Ouellette, the coach, and they play out of the Halifax Curling Club. Brings that first stone into the top of the forefoot.
Yeah, it looks like Newfoundland's going to keep it simple and hit that one on the top of the forefoot. Not get too aggressive the first end.
This is a name people will recognize, at least the last name. Marissa Gushu throwing the lead, just 13 years old, throwing lead stones here for the Newfoundland team. Site Penny on the left, as you view there, is the second. Haley Gushu, the older of the Gushu girls, playing third, and the skip Kaylee Locke. Sandra Sparrow, the coach, and they play out of the Remax Center in St. John Curling Club.
Yeah, it's my understanding this is actually Marissa's second year in this competition, so she was actually here last year when she was 12. So.
This is going to have to curl up if she's going to get a piece. She's got a piece. I don't know if it's going to be enough to stay.
10, 63.
So with the rollout, a chance to make a play to the corner, and they're going to call for it right into the rings.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to. Both teams are going to play it a little bit close to the vest in the first end, get their feet under them, and I'm sure that'll change as we go forward. But right now, they're comfortable with this.
Hey, line's good.
Yeah, we are on to day two here for the teams, so they've had a little bit of chance to see the ice. Of course, practice before that. This is a Pool A matchup, and you know, I have to admit, we don't exactly know what the playoff format is going to be. For people that were watching yesterday, you might have heard there's been some travel difficulties with some of the teams. I think there's still a couple of teams not here, so they're scrambling with the draw to make sure everybody gets their games in, and the playoff schedule might have to be altered as well. But here's what I know going into this one: the Cassidy Blades team, Nova Scotia, is sitting at 2-0. They're tied atop their pool right now with a team from Ontario, Furland, who we had in our feature at 12:30 yesterday. And this Newfoundland team is sitting at 1-1, right behind them, sitting third in that pool. So it certainly looks like early, but these are small pools. These teams are in the playoff mix.
Yeah, for sure. This will be a big game for both of them. Either for Nova Scotia to get to 3-0 or Newfoundland to bring them back to them and be all tied after this game.
Well, and no tiebreaker games usually in these events, so head-to-head is the first tiebreaker.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely head-to-head, and then they start going to LSDs, so all of that's really important in these round-robin formats.
That's okay.
It's the one thing about these small pool round-robins, the old expression, it gets late early around here. I mean, you're only into game 3, but you only get to play 6 in the round-robin. Like, it's getting late.
Yeah, definitely, Sean. Every game is so important, and again, those LSDs and head-to-head matchups get to be huge, so every game is important. It's like you're in the playoffs right out of the gate, in fact.
Good. 10-4. Good week.
So yeah, with the delays and losing a day of the championship, there is a pretty long playoff format normally in these events. Just they're trying to give, again, all these young teams as many games as possible. So we were able to, I think Curl Canada was able to shorten the playoff up and not, you know, they're still going to be a pretty extensive playoffs, but shortened it up a little bit to make up that day. So we're still going to end on Saturday as planned, because all these teams have travel plans back and have to, most of them go to school next week. So that doesn't change. All that was happened was we've shortened up the playoff format. So.
Oh. Oh. Lily.
Stephanie Atherton looking to make the hit. She'd like to stay. Teams have been content to exchange hits out on the wings. This is going to roll just out of the rings.
A little too much ice for her head.
So Kaylee Locke now asking for a draw to the other side. They'll get a chance to play to both wings. This can be important later in the game too. So much of that pregame practice, and not just at this level, at all levels nowadays, is so geared towards that draw to the button that you don't get a chance to throw to the wings in practice. And
Hey, line's close.
you've got last rock. You'd love to play to the wings, but you just don't know what it's going to do yet. So this is their chance to figure it out early.
Yeah, great point. And then the LSD is in practice is all, everybody's so focused on trying to break the ice for that LSD because it's so important, and they have to throw both sides in this LSD with two people throwing. So yeah, very rarely will you see any go to the wings in pregame practice.
That one coming up a little short of the rings. It does act as a corner guard. The other difference in the rules that we probably should mention here off the start, a little bit different here in that the coaches are out at the ice level. They've got the opportunity, should they so desire, to have one interaction with their teams per end. The clock continues to run, so instead of having timeouts for an 8-in game, they have 34 minutes on the clock, and the clock will continue to run if they choose to use one of their interactions, but they only get one per end. So you're probably not going to see them come out on lead stones very often.
No, exactly. Yeah, they quite often, we noticed it last night in the broadcast we were doing, sometimes they try to save it for a little later in the end. Maybe not always. It's really interesting how the coaches manage that, because, yeah, they definitely don't want to waste it too early. Kind of like timeouts in football or anything else. You want to save them for when you really need them.
You know, and to that end, the timeouts even in open play have gotten a little bit more, can I say, guarded, because the rule has changed. There's no longer two timeouts, there's one. And a lot of times you saw it at the Briar and the Scotties that teams would save one timeout so that they had a way to stop the clock to throw their last rock in the 10th if it got tight for time. Well, if you're doing that, then you don't really have any timeouts. So.
Yeah, it's a good point. You're not seeing them save it to the end for that purpose too often anymore, because, I mean, the game has gotten very complicated, so there's usually somewhere along the way you need to use it before that.
Just like freezing to them. Yeah, that's what I got for there.
Well, the Newfoundland team taking advantage of the one miscue here, the nose hit on the guard. They come around that corner. She's got it, boy, 7/8 tucked. Nothing that Blades can do other than just try to come down and sit on the corner. But I guess she could play the run back if she wanted to.
Yeah, this is a tough freeze, being that it's, you know, probably a foot or so in front of the tee line, so it's going to have to be a good shot.
Line's good. Around it. Oh.
Brushers haven't touched it yet. They might feel it's a little strong.
Yeah, it was good communication on that. They signaled early, we got to go around it. And it looks like she's going to just slip too far. Sit second shot for now.
I think we're one. I think we're here. Just play it to here, I think. And if we're to the back,
Certainly
it's
one
okay.
thing we're
She makes
noticing
the
on
freeze.
with these young teams that I think has been improved with coaching is their communication is very good between the sweepers and the person controlling the house and the thrower. So I've certainly seen a difference in the games I've been watching here in that respect.
Okay.
Heard Kaylee Locke say as she came down, she's pretty sure they're one.
It's close. I do think we're one. fine with the draw to the open. Full 8.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Do his draw open side? It's tough to
I'm fine
come
with
back
this.
to
You
that
just have
side
to
and
be
not
full 8 here.
leave some
Little bit
leave
more
a way
movement.
out.
Yep.
You get to the T-line corner of the forefoot here, you're pretty sure you're going to have a shot for your deuce.
Okay. Like a 20. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, if she can just get past that, her shot stone right now, and not leave a double, it should be. You should be in good shape to score the deuce.
Line's pretty
Not like a
good.
spinner. Make sure we're there, guys. Make sure we're there.
I'm just noticing
sure
this
we're
now,
there.
but it is Marissa Gushu, the 13-year-old, who holds the broom for her.
Oh, yeah.
So 13-year-old and also the vice on this team.
Hard, guys.
Yeah. She's getting a lot of experience at a young age.
Just a hair deep. It's okay.
I don't think it's a hair deep. I think it's in a good spot.
Yeah, just a little
I think
deep.
that's a great spot. I mean,
Forces her to hit it.
yeah, she can make the roll behind there, but it's going to have to be very precise to stay shot rock. If she does hit this and roll behind that guard and that one on the top 8 foot.
Got to give it a go, though. We're both looking at the same camera shot. If she's a little thin, can she come and double her own and get second? She probably, or get shot, she probably can, but she's real thin. There's actually probably room to hit it just a little too thin, roll over the top.
This is close.
Well, they're already looking for curl. This has got to go to get a piece.
She's going to hit it thin.
A little too thin to get on her own, but does remove it from play. So Kaylee Locke with her final stone here in the opening end of play will have the chance to play the same draw she just threw. Needs to just about bite the forefoot. She can pick up a deuce here.
That had a pretty good ad and a little bit of a spinner, so just stay close.
So it'd be a good start for these girls. And yeah, it feels silly to say game 3 of the competition is a must-win, but it kind of might be a must-win. So
Yeah, it's
All you
definitely a
guys.
bigger game for Newfoundland probably
Moving
than
earlier,
for
yep.
Nova Scotia at this point, just based on the records. But
Yep.
again, big for both teams.
Hard, guys. Hard, guys.
sure didn't look like it was coming in very fast. It slides to the back of the 4, and a quick look around the outside, they do confirm it is 2 points. So Newfoundland jumps out to the 2-0 lead here after the opening end. Nova Scotia will have last rock when we come back for the second.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
The Canadian curling trials. The thing we cried for, fought for, thrown 1,000 rocks for. The podium, just out of reach. But we can almost taste the gold medals in our teeth. Defiant, we take down giants with nothing but the stones in our hands. And in the stands, they wait and see who among us will earn the right to wear the maple leaf.
Live from the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon, you're watching the 2025 U-18 Curling Championships. 2-0 as we begin play here in the second end.
Go ahead.
And with that lead, the Newfoundland team brings the first stone into the top of the forefoot.
Okay.
Looks like Nova Scotia's going to continue with the conservative play, I would suggest, and hitting this one on the top forefoot, waiting for a better opportunity.
I had to wait till she came out of the hacks because that didn't look like enough ice to throw for a hit, and maybe it wasn't.
Okay, 11-3.
You know, it's interesting in that regards, too. We've got 5 feet of curl here in Utah. This is our home club. We're used to this. I did a game yesterday afternoon, and after the game, I was talking to the coach. I said, you get a chance to play on 5 feet of curl very often? He said, never. He said, we're lucky if we see 3. And so for a lot of these teams, if they're used to straighter ice, you know, back home in their home club, you can maybe get away with putting the broom inside the edge of the rock to play that hit. But here, it's going to curl.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, we got lots of curl. The rocks are sharp. Ice is fantastic. So they're really getting, I mean, a arena type of ice, which, yeah, to your point, a lot of them probably have rarely, if ever, seen. So
It's on its own.
definitely an adjustment for these teams, but a lot of them looks like they're making that adjustment.
Good judge, guys. Stay. Stay.
One's going to slide a little deep and just through the back. Another chance to make the hit. She didn't open up the broom a lot here. Did take a little bit more ice.
One thing we're really seeing too with this much curl is definitely weight sensitive. So if you need to throw a 10-second hit, you better be pretty close to 10 seconds hog to hog, or you're going to get a lot more curl if you throw an 11-second hit. So that's certainly some is going to help the teams that have worked on their weight control on their takeouts.
You just saw the adjustment on that hit. That looked like a little bit more weight, but a lot more rotation as well.
We're good here, Haley. We're good. Great dope.
Looks like now that Newfoundland doesn't have one sitting on the center line on the top of the forefoot, Nova Scotia is going to throw up a corner guard and get a little more aggressive here, Sean.
Yeah. They probably would have preferred to make the hit on the first one and throw this while it was still a 3 guard, but it's still a rock that they might be hoping 3. This looks like it might be sliding in.
Gotta curl if you can.
Now it's starting to slow down as it curls off that line.
Curl if you can. Yep. Good. Good judge. 16-4.
You do have to hope for a bit of a miscue now. You have to expect that
Or we can play it
the
there.
lock team, who's been so content to play
I like that. Just
close to the
ball.
vest, I was going to say they'd probably hit the guard. She's going to bring one into the top 12.
I wonder if a lot of these teams have seen this fast of ice in their play as well, because we're getting pretty fast times generally. On draws, 15 seconds would probably be just about the minimum hog to hog, and we're seeing some upwards in those 16 seconds, which is pretty fast.
My guess on that would be that they probably have, but I say that with a qualifier. There's a bit of a difference. 15 seconds on ice that curls 5 feet feels different than 15 seconds on ice that's fairly straight. Now, what happens with straight ice? It's not really the ice. You know, we didn't know that 20 years ago. We know now. It's got more to do with the rocks. If the rocks get a little dull, they won't grab anything to curl, but they won't grab anything to slow down either. So they'll be really quick. But of course, they don't curl, so they travel less distance. And coming out of the hacks, the 15 on this ice where it curls is going to feel much quicker.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's been a real change in ice making philosophy over the last 10 years for sure, in that nobody's trying to dish the ice anymore. They're trying to make a flat surface and get the rocks to curl.
Yeah.
Sharpen the rocks, get the rocks to curl. and they'll do the job for what you need to call it curling and not straighting.
Yeah, and I know I was involved in the Players Association in the province of Saskatchewan. It started in was about 02, 01, 02, and at that point in time, nobody was talking about rocks. We were still all talking about, we play on conditions that are too straight, and we were talking about it being the ice. And that's all been learned in that, it's a relatively short time frame. Now to the point where I saw advertised on CurlSask's site, they're doing a webinar on how to condition your rocks.
Yeah, for sure. And I know, even for hosting events now for CurlSask, they are asking the host sites to condition their rocks and try and get that to that at least 4 feet of curl, hopefully 5. But yeah, it's certainly been a change. I mean, the curlers are demanding that now. It's, from our point of view, it's no fun playing on straight ice. You don't have all the shots, and it's just not the same game. In that respect, we're very spoiled here at Nutana because we generally have a minimum of 4 feet day-to-day out here. So
Roll that way. Okay. 11.
Looking for the roll behind the corner, just gets the nose hit for now.
Yep, that was good
It is
throw.
the red Nova Scotia stone that is shot rock in the 8-foot. Newfoundland will look to remove that stone, but stay away from the corner guard. They've got the force set up right now. They can hold it.
Yep. Yep.
yeah, if you can nose this one, they'll be pretty much side by side. So
Hard.
they'll
Hard.
be sitting in good shape.
Hard. A roll. Great sweeps today. Good sweep.
Third's last stone. Do you think about just coming around?
Certainly an option. It looks like that's what the option they're going to take.
Well, if you're going to get forced, you may as well get forced to 2.
Exactly.
And it's easier to get there with a draw than it is with a hit and roll all the way across.
Little tight. Mine's good, all you. Anna's rock. Anna. Hard, Anna. Hard, Anna, hard. Hard, Anna, hard. Hard. You got it. Yep. Hard. Far as you can.
Really nice line, but it doesn't look like she's going to have the weight here.
Yeah, it's actually going to be might serve a bit of a problem for her now because the guard's getting a little closer to the center line too. So
I'm liking right here. And if we're deep, it's okay. But just try and keep it higher.
Newfoundland's going to try and get around that one a little bit, but they want to stay high so they don't set up any doubles on any of the outside ones.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks like
yeah,
she's
yeah.
just really trying to choke off the come
Like
around.
same path that we've been throwing.
This is
Yeah,
a
like, I
tough
wanna
one.
be
Like if you're
fully
not going to be dead buried in the
You know what I
corner
mean?
of the 4-foot, I think you want to be wide open in the 12 because
Yeah, no. Like fully
Nova
open.
Scotia-
We
there
could
you
be
go.
covering this yellow hair. I don't
you
want
want to be fully
underneath.
open because if she makes the hit and roll under, you want to be able to use this rock.
Yeah, definitely.
Like a 20, 25. Okay.
She's got really good awareness for a young skip.
Yeah, they're talking about the exact weights to throw, and again, those are
How much ad
interval
there?
times, so they're timing, I think,
Oh, yeah.
back line to hog line is what they're referring to when they're stating those times in the hack for the skip.
Where?
Whoa.
Definitely going to be deeper than what they had in mind and not burying either.
Like the hit.
But not bad. It's going to force them to hit this one and
Yeah.
It definitely
try and
goes
make
with
the roll
touches
behind
of
those
center
corners.
line.
If she does make it,
So
she'll
probably
certainly
here.
Okay.
have a chance for a
got it.
deuce.
There's a good look at what she'll see when she gets into the hack. So it does look like there's a little bit of air there. She can get just across the face, get the roll underneath. The guard's not really in the way of making that shot.
Yeah, 11 and roll Anna's way. Yeah.
more ice here than she took for her lead earlier in the end. So maybe just a little difference in the delivery of the two players. Didn't get across the face, does make the hit. And the shooter is going to roll just a little bit too far.
Hair more.
Yeah, just not shot rock, but it's still going to force Newfoundland to hit this one. And she'll have to try and
10-5, yeah, right on the nose.
either draw the forfeit, probably for her single point. It'll put some pressure on them.
Well, she can put a lot of pressure on her with this one. If she hits it right, just a sliver inside the nose, rolls a couple inches to the inside, she might not be able to see the nose. Anything on the outside would leave a steal at the top. She can't hit the one at the top and be shot rock. She could make the last shot really tough here.
Yeah, definitely. She can at least roll edge to edge for that top one. It's
Even
probably
with
going to force her to draw.
Sorry, Hero. Even with a nose hit, it's tricky, but if she gets just a little bit of roll, she's just a little bit on the outside, so if she does want to play the hit now, a nose hit will get shot rock.
Yeah, that was actually a big roll to the 12-foot to give Nova Scotia probably a little easier shot in the hit.
I like the same way.
If she would have stuck even in the 8-foot,
Yeah.
she would have probably forced her to draw or play the double.
She has tightened up the ice quite a bit for this attempt. Nose hit will get her single point. She's got room to roll, and even at the adult level, this is usually where you've tried all in to get the roll behind the guard, so you get it on the last rock. That's what I'm betting on here.
It's usually way easier now.
Makes the hit, flops into the top of the 8-foot. Nova Scotia picks up a single point here in the second end of play. Newfoundland, though, continues to lead by a score of 2-1, and they will have last rock in the third.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
From cash spiels to Grand Slams, club competitions to world championships, there's a lot to keep up with on the pebbled ice. Stay up to date with the Hardline Curling Show, your weekly source for everything curling, with the latest event results, breaking news, interviews with players, executives, and insiders, plus behind-the-scenes access you won't get anywhere else. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you don't miss a thing.
Nice hit and stay with her final stone. Cassidy Blades pulls to within one. Newfoundland has last rock here as we play in the third. And we've got a center guard thrown up to start an end, and looks to be touching the center line as well, so it's in the no-tick zone.
Yeah, that's big to get that guard touching the center line. So if they do happen to touch it off that center line, it'll go back.
Or at least the option exists for it to go back. It's not a must-move stone.
Right now.
Yeah, good point. That is the one where you do have an option to leave them as they are or put them back how they were before you touched it off. So there is some options in that shot.
Go when you can. Go when you can, yep.
But with this much curl in the ice, generally shouldn't be too close to that guard. and she wasn't. She cleared the guard probably by at least 18 inches and is almost completely buried. So just goes to show you how much curl and how great the ice is here right now.
Lily Mitchell being asked to come down, sit right on top of that shot stone. This has got a lot of room early.
That's really running.
And the sweepers are indicating it's a little heavy as well.
14-4. What?
Probably throws a little more rotation as well, so that's going to hold it out there longer. It'll still curl at the end, but holds it out there longer, and it carries better with more rotation too, so she ends up in the back 12.
Yeah, it tends to just extend that break point. So when there's more rotation.
Probably a little less.
Chance for Marissa Gucci to bring another one right down on top of her first. Sit two here.
Same line here. On her arms, though. Okay.
This one looks a little warm as well.
Yeah, tighter line than the Nova Scotia stone, but not
Yep.
going to get to the face of the yellow. Rubs it.
Okay, that's fine. Good judge.
Will stay in the back 8, so she does sit 2 for now. Another opportunity for the freeze, this time with Anna McNutt.
Seems to be a little heavy again, the sweepers are indicating.
This is plan B. They're trying to stay on the face of the yellow at the back now.
In fact, she bumps it right out of the ring, so she's
14-2. I think this is still in. Yeah.
We've got multiple overhead cameras here. To us, it doesn't look like it's in, but we're looking from this. We're looking from the button.
Mine's good. No.
They are not wearing out the brushers this end.
No.
no. It's interesting. I don't know if it's quickened up this end, but there
Really sore in
seems to
here.
be a tendency to be heavy right now.
This is going to chip the stone off the button, roll out into the open. She does sit 2.
Do you think so?
Now they're discussing whether that one is in or out. They might have to get an official out because
I don't know.
that's probably what they should do, in fact, just because
It's-
you have them
Yeah,
at your disposal.
it is in a spot where if you jam something on it, it would still be in the rings. A lot of times you get a rock like that you're trying to decide if it's in play or not. If it's a little farther over, it's just something that somebody's going to trip on later on.
Yeah, exactly. That one, yeah, that one certainly could come into play.
Boy, this is close to the double.
Yeah, great shot.
I think they were just looking for the hit and roll over, but you know, by getting that second one out of there, she's now sitting 3 with nothing in behind cover.
Yeah. Yeah, they're sitting not too bad right now. The unfortunate part is they're all behind the tee line with, but
Worried about this.
But what do you do if you're Newfoundland here? You got last rock.
No.
If you play the hit and roll, you're probably behind the tee line.
So this one? I like to hear.
Looking at the freeze, and I think that last gesture was rip the guard, which never a bad option to rip the guard when you got last rock.
no.
And there's too many opposition stones starting to pile up.
Yeah, and again, especially since all the rocks are behind the tee line, nothing's that great guardable.
Hey, line. Line.
She's chosen to play the freeze here now.
Line. Hey, whoa. Line. 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 Line.
front one.
Oh, no bump.
If
no
they were
bump.
playing a freeze, I don't think this is the freeze they were playing.
I actually think they were, Sean.
Do you think they were?
That's what she indicated, was
Okay.
the freeze to that one with the intern, which again shows you how much a curler is in the ice, because the guard's on the center line and the rock in the back was in the side of the forefoot. But do you think that's what she called?
Certainly had to flirt with the guard to make that, but it ends up in a really good spot.
Line. Yep, we're tight, Lily, hard. Yep, hard.
Third stone's now Stephanie Atherton's going to need to move that stone if she's going to get shot rock, and this is going to be tight to the guard on the other side.
Keep going hard, Lily, hard. Okay, roll off.
Not going to get by. Now can they get the shooter into the ring somewhere?
Just spin it in a little. Okay. 14-8, just tight.
Gets a spin in, it's full 12.
Yeah, left the center guard, which would probably help them and might help them down the road. Newfoundland's going to try and put some pressure on them and get another one around that center.
This is another one where you might want to overcurl just a little bit because that shot stone is now fully exposed.
Line's fine.
If you can come half a rock out into the open here, you can kind of do that, the Christmas tree that we talk about so much.
Yeah.
Yep, hard, guys. Full 8, guys.
Curling's the only sport where we talk about Christmas tree in February. Everybody else doesn't want to think about it yet for a few months.
Just the ear. Just the ear.
Definitely.
Okay.
Didn't get the line to be fully buried, but it does get in deep enough to sit 2.
Like, same way.
Which on the positive side on that, if they do get one in here, it's exposed for them to hit it into the red rock, the Nova Scotia rock, if they get one around here. So hard to know yet if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. Time will tell as this end goes on.
Yeah, Lily. Okay, line's close. Yep, yep. Hard. Oh. Yep. Down, you're down, you're down, you're down, you're down. Hard, Lily. Yep. Hard, Lily. Hard, Lily. Hard. Hard, Lily. Yep. Push hard. Hard. Oh, God. Hard, hard, hard. Hard.
This one really curling as well. If there's a port between the yellows, she's got it. Nope, just rubs off the one that was just thrown.
15.
That was a good sweep by the sweepers. It didn't look like that rock was going to get top forefoot at the hog line, but they got it
Corner
there.
frozen.
Very strong
Top 4,
sweep.
top 8.
I'm not sure who shot rock.
What?
Looks like it is yellow right now, but
Maybe.
the red one's in a great position.
You're
Depends which overhead camera you look
this
at.
one has removed.
we've got 2 views here.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous stone for the Newfoundland Labrador team.
How much of this do you have?
Yeah,
How
I think
much do
they're
you
definitely
have?
going to have to try and make a play on it and remove it.
Okay, like, I'm going to play it and lose this and put this into here. Okay, I was just thinking we play it here and then we play that. But it doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, well, you have to move this one, right? I think we have to move this one. I don't want to roll too far here. Like, I don't want to lose our shooter out here.
And what she's meaning by that, having to move the other one in order to keep
I'm
the
fine
shooter,
with
they're
that
going to
call.
have to touch the yellow.
Like a quarter.
Which is okay, I think, in this case, because she's got that catcher behind it.
I think we are.
So, I mean, if she can get to the nose on this one, it's going to leave
I think to kill that, we're
leave
moving
Nova
this
Scotia in a
back
bit of
yellow.
trouble.
And if we move this back yellow too far, I don't want to kill
But
this.
if
Sandra
we don't-
Sparrow was
if
the
we don't
coach.
get to it, she's going to get to it and push it in, right? So I think we need to get. Think we need to move it, but it's up to you. Right?
Okay, I'll wait till.
Back 8, back 12.
Okay. Back 8! Back 8!
Great coaches interaction there. I think that was a very, very good call by Sandra Sparrow, the Newfoundland coach. I do think they need to move it soon or they might not get a chance to move it. And again, if they can move it with back 12 weight, which is what they called, it's going to definitely put up some pressure on Nova Scotia.
Hard! Hard! Hard!
Going to have to go to get by the front one.
Hard, Marissa.
It's by. I don't know if she's got the weight to move it, though.
Okay.
Didn't quite move it far enough, and it's definitely shot rock now. But
Well, and I think the two yellows at the top of the forefoot might be touching each other, so you can't even run that in on the angle. It's just going to come off the other yellow.
yeah, she might not be able to get to it with that side one.
Don't think she's got a shot over
And
there.
the other one's completely buried behind the center guard, the one on the center line. So.
Yeah, because then they could always think, but we're going to have another one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this is a really good call. You freeze this in here, and
Okay. Because it really comes back. Yeah, you got it.
she probably needs 2 rocks to get this one out, which has only got 2 rocks left. You get to throw one in between. Really good spot to steal here.
We're coming like right down to their yellow.
And I don't think she's got anything on the other side.
Yeah.
It might be one of those situations where you either steal or give up 3 or 4.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Of course, the other side of it, we see this all the time. You get 5 rocks already in the forefoot, and if she makes this shot, that'll be 6. And you get enough rocks in the forefoot, usually somebody scores 1.
Yeah, there's a lot of ends like that now, isn't there?
Little tight.
Big shot here for Cassie Blades, a chance to freeze the pocket, put herself in a real strong position to steal. She's got a curl.
Anna, knife it. Hard. Hard, Anna, hard. Hard, Anna, hard, hard, hard. Hard, 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 hard. Keep going. Yep, hard. Okay, that's fine.
Didn't quite get to the inside of that yellow one now. Did it curl enough?
Oh, great.
I think you can probably just see enough of it to come off it and kill the shot rock. She is going to jam the one she hits on the back red one at least.
Yeah.
But
I think so.
What?
I'm not positive she gets underneath the yellow at the top of the forefoot.
How much weight?
that's going to be close.
She could touch it and still make the shot, though.
So, I think I want to throw like 9.5, but I don't think we're going to kill this. Just because of the guard and this one, right? I don't know how close we can get. So just play it to here is really good, okay?
Okay.
It's like 9.5. A little bit more. I'd love to get that back one moving, but I don't know if we can get it thin enough, if we can get this top red thin enough. So even just to hit it and let it stick there. They throw the guard, yeah, but we can try this then, right?
Will they be safe too?
No. Like this is thin, right?
I do think
So it
she
goes
gets
into
by
the
that yellow one
back red.
on the top
If
of
we
the
hit it thin
forefoot
enough.
on the center line tight. She can make
Yeah,
the
that's what
double.
the inside.
Well, I agree. I'm just not
9.5,
sure
I
that
think.
she's going to throw the quieter weight. I don't
wanna
know if she could make
mess
it.
up
But
too much.
if she misses the yellow, there's a good look at it
You
from
like
this
this?
camera view. It doesn't look like coming off the red. There's enough room to get
I think it just
completely
sits
under
on
the
top.
yellow.
Like I'm not seeing
Mind you, if she
anything
jiggles
else.
the yellow, it could move that outside one a little bit, and that might unlock it. She might have ways both ways to run something in.
She indicated 9.5 second wait, so it's going to be hard enough. Just whether she can hit it in the right spot, I think, or get in tight enough to your point. And if it clears that top yellow,
Yeah, I think it's got to clear the top yellow to have enough weight.
Yep. Hard.
Well, I think they needed to hit it thinner than that.
oh. Now that's interesting. Now it's really hard to tell if she's sitting first and second. Looks like she
I think
is.
she's sitting 2, and
It does.
Yeah.
that's not the guard I'm throwing, if it's me.
No, I think you got to guard the
and I
outside
think
of that.
Kevin Ouellette is seeing the same thing I'm seeing, because here he comes for his coach's interaction.
Yeah, she's got the double on those 2 reds if she can hit what she can see on the outside. So I think
Or
that's
even a
what
little
she's got to
thinner.
guard.
She doesn't even need to see all that she hit all that she can see.
And if you guard that, you probably guard hitting that one that's frozen too in the pocket too at the same time.
You want to make sure we go on that
Now
side.
that What's that? It might be off.
Okay.
Yeah. You got it.
Just be aware of where the slide
Do you think more? Yeah. Like there? Okay.
Great example of where the coaches' interactions can definitely have an impact on the games on the
Close for a
strategy
second,
point of view.
but we're definitely one. So we're just
This does
blocking her
not look
yellow.
like a lot of ice for this guard.
Yeah.
She's got to take away the
That's all
outside of that red stone. This looks tight for ice to me.
Yeah, it's certainly minimal, I think.
Line's good, all you. All right then.
Rushers jumped it right out of her hand. Backing away now, just cleaning.
Line's good.
Holding it out there right now.
Line's good. Line's good. Anna, a little bit. Yep, hard, Anna. Hard, Anna, hard, Anna. Yep.
Yeah, she's got a nice one there.
Yeah, that's a great spot. You're definitely taking that outside one away. And probably taking the middle one away, so
Yeah.
she's taking that whole
Big
side
weight,
away unless
like
she's
just
going
a
to
hair
run
high,
something
right?
in there.
Okay.
Can she make it on the nose and the yellow and do it the other
I'm gonna
the
dump
other
you.
way? Nose hit the yellow or just off. Clip the thin edge of that rock that's full button into the other one. There could be a lot of rocks have to move to make this shot, but it could be for
Well, where you thinking hit the center line one?
nope. The
The
one
one on
right,
the right
the
side.
right behind the broom, and just catch the very edge of the rock on the button
That's
into
gonna-
the side of the other one, and then you need it to spin back. She's going to have some weight here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if it hits that top, the one it's frozen to enough, and if it spins by or catches that back red one. If it does, it's
she doesn't need
definitely...
to angle it now. She just needs to hit just slightly off nose.
Oh, oh.
Well, that might be a little thin.
Oh,
Moved enough of them that, well, this is going to get really interesting.
yeah. Definitely close.
Somebody's getting one.
That was a great shot. That was just about all she could do, it looked like.
Yeah, one yellow. Yep.
So it is good enough for the Newfoundland team to pick up a single point. When she was facing two, she restores the 2-point lead. Nova Scotia will have last rock again in the fourth.
One of the things that someone once told me was you never know when you're going to get back, and you always want to make sure to focus on the competition, of course, because that's what you're there for, but you always want to be able to enjoy the opportunity and what's in front of you. So it'll very quickly, I don't find it difficult to get focused on the ice. I'm usually quite in a bubble, and I don't really know what's going on the other sheets or around me. So on my side of things, that's not a big problem, but yeah, just making sure you find that balance, because there are so many neat things that are going on outside of just the ice, from the telethon to the youth programming. We've got future stars with us. There's just so many things that are exciting, and we want to be part of it all and experience it all.
Outstanding final shot just to pick up a single point. Newfoundland has the 2-point lead as we begin play here in the fourth. Sean Joyce, Daryl McKee with you live from the Nutana Curling Club.
Mine's good.
Well, that was an exciting end,
Top
Sean.
four, guys. Top
A
four.
lot more rocks in play and
Top four.
some great angles. Really
Top four.
was impressed by
Yes.
both teams' understanding of
Yeah, hard,
angles
guys,
and
hard.
strategy in that
Hard,
case.
guys.
And it's an exciting end.
Good judge. 15-4.
First stone again brought into the corner of the button area.
Okay, you got it.
We have seen this, and you know, this is only the second game that I broadcast, but I've seen this with a number of these teams here, and we've seen it already a couple of times in this game, is that they do seem to prefer the delayed corner, where they'll get rid of that first rock in the middle and then play the corner later on.
Hard start.
Yeah, they seem really reluctant to leave that. If they put a good rock on the center line,
10-7.
top 4-foot top button, they don't want to leave it there.
Turn it in a
There's a lot of men's and women's teams that have gone to this strategy as well, though, too, and you could certainly understand from a coach's standpoint, when you're coaching a younger team, it's that way to get a little bit less congestion in the middle early. You just, ideally though, they would have liked to roll to the corner, have the Newfoundland team hit it, and now you can throw a corner with nothing in the middle. They've kept the play a little closer to the middle than they would have liked.
Hard for a piece today, hard. Hard.
However, this one is going to slide by. So the chance to throw the corner guard now.
Yeah, like 17-5. You got it.
There might be some people at home wondering, you know, why wouldn't you just guard shot rock? Well, that shot rock is just a sacrificial lamb at this point in time. You want to get the play to the corner.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is that getting the play to the corner. You don't want to, you guard it now, you're bringing the play back to the middle, which without hammer is, for Newfoundland would be an advantage.
Switch if you can. Girl. Hard, Anna. Hard, Anna, yep. Hard. Hard.
I see looking out on the ice, Sean, that
18-8.
the Gushu girls' dad has made the trip, and mom, and they're sitting in the stands watching the game.
They are, and they're brave in the cold stands too. They didn't stay up warm behind the glass. They're out there in the frigid temperatures.
Well, I kind of made that mention to Brad as he was going out, as I was coming up, and he said, well, they're on the sheet right beside. I told the girls I'd sit out there for that, but that's the last game.
You have to be dedicated.
Yeah, and he's been out here practicing a little bit late at night after all the games are done. We're not done here till after 10:30, so he was out last night practicing, getting ready for the Brier.
That's 10:30 in our time zone when we're done. And that's probably not the time zone he's still working on.
No.
That's a late night practice for him.
Yeah, they got in late on Saturday night, I think. So yeah, he's probably getting close to catching up on sleep, and transitioning time zones, but probably not yet.
Chance here to use that corner guard. A lot of room coming by, and it looks like a lot of weight. It's going to stop in time to hang on for a bite. No, it's just going to slide through the back of the rings and all the way out of play.
Yeah, this is going to give Newfoundland a chance to steal that corner now.
Comes up to the nose. So still an opportunity for the Nova Scotia team to come around the corner guard, albeit belonging to the opposition now.
Yeah, but it's long enough you can get around it. It's going to be a pretty hard run back, so still certainly advantage Nova Scotia at this point.
Top 14! Line's good! Line's good! Top 4! Oh, yeah.
Rushers like the weight on this one a little bit more.
Steph.
Still got plenty of room coming by.
Oh, just here. Yep, curl, Steph, hard. Hard, right over. Hard! Hard, you gotta move it. Hard! 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 Keep going, keep going, keep going. Right side. Okay, good sweep. 16.
Big finish on that stone from the hog line in. It had plenty of room by the guard, and I think we've got a piece under cover now. There's a good look at it. Maybe a quarter under.
It is interesting as well. One of the other evolutions in the game that we're seeing is the directional sweeping over the last number of years. And you're certainly seeing that by I think all the teams here. So again, well coached and giving them an understanding of the directional sweeping, as you're seeing right now.
Nice hit and roll there to the top of the forward, getting the play away from that corner guard for the time being. Tough to ignore a stone full 4 this late in the end. Cassidy Blades asking Stephanie Atherton to make the hit and roll back towards the corner. make the hit with that big rotation. Is that enough to gear over there? Actually spins back.
Yeah, it just goes to show you, I think, the sharpness of the rocks there. They're definitely sharp right now, and yeah, you'll get that spin on those as they stop.
Haley Gushu just looking to hit and roll back to the other side of the center line. Wants to stay in the 4-foot though. You roll too big and it will give him the chance to come around that corner again. There goes the curl. That nice controlled weight comes up to the nose.
Yeah, Nova Scotia's going to try and hit and roll back under there again.
With my teams, I always took the approach on a shot like this. You're better off to overroll than to underroll. You overroll, they make a play on it. You know you're going to have a chance to draw with the next one. You got to get the play away from the center line. Well, you don't want to roll out though.
Yeah, that's the only risk with that for sure. Which is what she's going to do. Because, yeah, she's going to give her a chance to peel that corner again now. We'll see if she chooses to do that or not. It's late enough in the end, she may be more aggressive.
We're on to skip stones now.
Looks like she's choosing just to go to the middle as a defensive strategy and make her make the hit and roll if she's going to generate a deuce here.
If I was going to come in, I'd be going away from the corner guard to the edge of the 4-foot. She's going to, with that ice, she's going to be close to center line. It's going to give them one more chance at that hit and roll.
Mine's good.
A bit of an ad.
Top 4. Mine's good. Top 4.
Pressure's staying close, but haven't done much with this stone yet. Puts it right in the top of the 4-foot. Team out of Newfoundland and Labrador sits 1.
Yeah. You got it.
Cassidy Blades will look for the hit and roll behind the corner guard and see if she can't generate her deuce here to tie things up going into the break.
10-5. Just less ice. Roll Lily's way.
This is one, Sean, where you really don't want to roll out on, however, because you might get forced if that's the case, because you're going to give Newfoundland a free draw around that corner to force you.
Might have been just a little tight on the release. They jumped the brush right out of her hand. Looking for any kind of a roll, but they're going to hit it right on the nose.
Just a little roll that way.
Well, I think I saw Kaylee Locke point a little roll open. I don't know why you wouldn't try to roll under here. That's your force.
10-5. Here, more.
Yeah, there's no reason why you wouldn't try and roll under at this point, since it's the last rock of her, last rock for her in this end. Looks like she's going for the roll now. She's going to nose it looks like.
Well, it will be a blank opportunity here for Cassidy Blades. Sticking to that same intern they've been playing all in. They have not quite been able to find the line to get the hit and roll. Now she just needs to get the hit and roll out.
Yeah, interesting that both teams chose to play opposite turns on this same hit in the top of the house. Not sure if that's a preference or maybe it's just a indication of how good and consistent the ice is, that it's pretty similar on both sides. You can pick and choose what you want to throw.
Cleans what you're looking for here. Makes the hit. Removes the stone from play. We've got a blank here in the fourth end of this all-important Maritimes matchup atop Pool A. The team out of Newfoundland and Labrador has a 3-1 lead going into the fourth end break.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You can throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
From cash spiels to Grand Slams, club competitions to world championships, there's a lot to keep up with on the pebbled ice. Stay up to date with the Hardline Curling Show, your weekly source for everything curling, with the latest event results, breaking news, interviews with players, executives, and insiders, plus behind-the-scenes access you won't get anywhere else. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you don't miss a thing.
The Canadian curling trials. The thing we cried for, fought for, thrown 1,000 rocks for. The podium, just out of reach. But we can almost taste the gold medals in our teeth. Defiant, we take down giants with nothing but the stones in our hands. And in the stands, they wait and see who among us will earn the right to wear the maple leaf.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
It was probably the most unique, beautiful, rewarding curling experience I've ever had. Having the opportunity to work in USG with the Cree Nation of Chisasibi, with Rhonda Spencer, with Roy Niacapo, just the entire community really came together, supported. We did something really tremendous, introducing a sport to a community that hasn't really had curling all that much, but there's a lot of very passionate curling fans. Radisson was a place where there's a curling club many years ago, and they haven't seen it in the region since. So we put a lot of time and effort and resources and told our stories, brought together all the Indigenous curlers, and empowered each and every one of us to share time with youth and community members.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You can throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
3-1 here as we begin play in the 5th end. Newfoundland Labrador with the lead, calling for the first stone into the rings.
Hard line. Hard line. Where are we, guys? Where are we?
Called for the first one into the rings, but looks like this is going to be a guard.
Okay. This is okay.
Working to get it back to the center line, so at least it's in the no-tick zone.
Okay.
And they will manage to get a bite out of it. They might have been better off to leave that short. There would be the option here for Nova Scotia to try to hit that and stay in the free guard zone. She's going to ignore it altogether, throw the corner.
Line's good. Little tight. 3. Okay, line's good. 2. Line's really nice. Curl.
This is a little different when you're, and I don't know how much coaching you've done, Daryl. I've done a little bit with some high school level kids, which is about the same age group we're talking about here, but we talked a little bit about how the coaches might prepare these teams, and this can be part of it too. When you know you've got that break at the end of 4, we've seen both teams play this a little bit tight to the vest through the opening 4, but you like to see where you're at through 4, because that's when you get that chance to have that 4 to 5 minute meeting and discuss how you want to attack the second half. And it looks here already like we're seeing a little bit more aggressive play here as we start play in the 5th.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think you do get that chance after the break to have a little bit longer chat than a coach's interaction, and it looks like that Nova Scotia is going to make a little shift in strategy, being 2 down playing the 5th.
Oh, line's
Well,
good.
it can be part of the strategy with these younger players. Just keep it close for the first 4, and then let's see what's working for us, what's not working for us, and maybe figure out where we're going to attack for the second half.
15-5.
Yeah, I think you really got to get a feel for your team and whether they're strong coming out of the gate or not, or whether they're, feel more comfortable after getting their feet under them for a few ends. And it looks like maybe that's been Nova Scotia's strategy.
Now they ignored this little biter on the first one, but now with the come around, you can make a play on that. You might be able to get both of them and keep a second rock in the free guard zone here. This is going to be close.
Yeah, the key is to keep her shooter in play somewhere, and she has, and it stayed out of the free guard zone, so it's a bonus. Now she's basically got 2 guards and no opposition stones in play.
Couldn't ask for anything more if you were Nova Scotia.
No, that was a great shot by the lead. And in this game, leads don't get to play a lot of hits, so sometimes it's a bit more stressful for the team when the lead's throwing a hit, but Lily had managed it very well and made it perfectly.
You know, it's funny when you mention that, the first thing that came to my mind, I'm going to tell this story anyway. I was playing with Brad Height, Arnie Geisler, and Dale Hannon one year, and Dale was the lead, but we were still playing 3-rock free guard zone at the time, and they were just looking to switch to 4. And we were going to an event, I believe it was in Yorkton, and we were going to have to play the 4-rock rule for the first time that year. But we didn't tell Dale ahead of time. So we told him on the way there, because we knew that if he found out that he wasn't going to get to play hit all weekend, he wouldn't have come.
Yeah, and that's generally what can happen in the. Now we're at the 5-rock. Like, leads don't throw a ton of hits. So you can find a lead who likes to draw and is dedicated to that position, you keep him. We've been lucky in a lot of our career to have Rory Galanowski as our lead, and he doesn't matter what the game, or he's intense and he wants to get his rocks in the best position possible, and that's what you want out of a lead.
Now, which is more important to Rory, getting his rocks in the right position or getting his hair just right?
Well, his hair looks after itself.
Mine's good. Mine's good.
He's the only guy I know who's got into seniors and his hair has gotten darker instead of grayer. And if you ever brought up that dreaded dye word, he would choke you. So he definitely doesn't do that. So.
I had to check to make sure it wasn't actually a toupee, but it seems to be pretty firmly attached.
Yeah, he gets a lot of attention, especially in seniors with that hair.
Yeah, 560.
we've got overlap rocks in front of the house as well as at the back of the 8-foot right now. Opportunity here for Anna McNutt if she could get one around in the top of the house somewhere. Sit 2. There's really no good way to get at either one of the rocks in the rings. She's got a great line if they can drag it far enough. Gonna just rub off. Does get a bite of the 12, but it's third shot for now.
Yeah, you get those staggered rocks at the front of the house, and it's really a bit of a quandary you have as a skip. If you can beat the other team in and get a good rock in top 4 foot here, it'll certainly be advantage Newfoundland. But if they don't, then it kind of flips back and forth.
Yeah, that's exactly it, right? You got to be the first one in.
And nobody tends to want to be the first one to waste a rock and hit those staggers. So certainly getting in is a big advantage.
Hard, Mercy, you got it. Hard. Go, guys, go. Go. Hard. Go.
Haley Goucher with a nice stone here, brings it into the top of the 8-foot, gets dead in behind that stagger. Now that stone that's just biting the 12-foot, fully exposed, so they can use it to promote onto the shot stone.
Yeah, which might get them in behind that stagger. So
Might. The shooter might end up in behind the corner too. There is still that yellow at the back of the 12 they'd have to deal with at some point, but you get enough reds hanging around, the potential for a big end is always there.
I'm a little surprised she's not playing a little quieter weight at this one, just because she could have keep her shooter and make the angle, but she's playing it a little stronger, which does make it easier to stick it on there.
It's the first one a little bit thick, so the second a little thin. She does sit 2, and that shooter does hang around for a bite of the 12-foot as well. The shot rock is open.
Yeah, with Hammer getting that biter on the top might come into play.
The indication was they're going to try to roll back towards the center line and get underneath that stagger again. You don't want to roll halfway. You might leave a double and sit 3. This is really curling, though. I don't think she's going back towards the center line.
Just
Nose will give them shot rock.
11.
Cassidy indicating they're going to try to roll back towards center as well. She could try to roll behind the corner guard, sit 2 as well. Problem there is you make it too good, and then they probably have to play the draw around the middle.
Yeah, at this point, wherever they roll is probably going to be borderline behind the tee.
Gonna have to go to stay on this one. She's curling across the face for sure. Makes the hit. Does hang the shooter on in the 12-foot, but it is third shot for now.
There's getting to be a bit of a buildup of reds in there.
Yeah, not really anything she can. I mean, I guess she could hit 4th shot if she wanted to, but not a lot to be gained from that. She needs to make a good draw here.
Yeah.
I think I like this way better.
Again, if she can get in there first behind that stagger, it's definitely to their advantage.
Okay.
If she had to come right down to the red one at the back of the 8-foot, I mean, she could eliminate all 3 red stones with that. But the problem with that is if you start thinking like that in the hacks, you come down a little strong and bump off, you could leave a double on the yellows, and now you're facing 4.
Yeah, you really want to leave that up to the sweepers to make that call at the end. Try and throw top ring, and if you're a little strong, the sweepers can take it back there.
Still on the corner guard right now. This is a long ways out. Going to rub the guard. They actually might have wanted to sweep the shooter over a little farther just to make sure there's no shot to kill that yellow at the back later on. For now, Cassidy Blades going to try to come around one more time.
Yeah, I think she must have been a little strong on that draw to hang on that corner guard like that.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't light. You look at how far she moved the guard and how far she rolled.
That's going to put a little pressure on them now, or Nova Scotia has an opportunity to, for sure.
Line's good, all you. Oh, top four.
This one's a long ways out, too.
Line's good.
This
Better
spot
weight.
seems to be pretty fast. Like we've seen them earlier in the game getting caught in this spot heavy a lot too. So
15-6.
I'm wondering if this spot's not a little faster than the other side.
Yep, Lily. Oh, yep. Hard, Lily, hard. Keep going, yep. Okay.
Gets down to maybe just nibble the top of the button, and it looks like edge to edge with the guard anyway. She might have a little piece underneath.
She's got a lot of risk here with this shot though. So if she ever drives it onto those back two and takes out that one yellow.
Yeah, and that's why I think she's changed the call. She initially looked at playing the flop under. She's just going to try to freeze to it now.
Yeah, great call.
Might be a freeze tap with that ice, but she's certainly not going to play enough weight to risk. Yeah, if you ever hit that just a little bit on the high side, drove it onto the red at the back, you could be giving up 5
I
here.
don't want to make that shot for him. I like this.
Yeah, definitely high risk to try and take it out. So this is a very, very experienced call, I would suggest.
Even with the freeze, though, you've got to get a little bit past the nose. If you're right on the nose with drag, you could probably make the shot for 4.
Yeah, she's got to get it in a good position for sure.
Line's good.
Felt really good.
Nothing out of the brushers yet. This is still out there.
14-8.
No.
She's going to tap it, roll open.
Okay. Yep, you got it.
So an opportunity for Nova Scotia to pick up 3 here.
11.
She's maybe fortunate she rolled as far out as she did, because if that stays closer to the center line, you might take it on for 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's a great point.
It'd be pretty risky from. You want to make sure you get your 3.
Yeah, if she'd have rolled 6 inches less even, I think she would have probably taken it on.
It'd be, it's interesting to see with players at this age category. Where's the line? There's going to be a line for everybody, right? Is how much risk do you want to take on? And it rolled far enough. She's just going to look for the nose hit.
Clean, you're fine.
There's that call, a clean, that usually indicates you got a good shot here. She will hit it right on the nose, gets a piece of the forefoot. That's 3 more points on the board for Nova Scotia. They take the lead for the first time in this game here after 5 ends of play. It's now Nova Scotia leading by a score of 4-3. The team out of Newfoundland Labrador will have last rock.
The Canadian curling trials. A thing we cried for, fought for, thrown 1,000 rocks for. The podium, just out of reach. But we can almost taste the gold medals in our teeth. Defiant, we take down giants with nothing but the stones in our hands. And in the stands, they wait and see who among us will earn the right to wear the maple leaf.
From cash spiels to Grand Slams, club competitions to world championships, there's a lot to keep up with on the pebbled ice. Stay up to date with the Hardline Curling Show, your weekly source for everything curling, with the latest event results, breaking news, interviews with players, executives, and insiders. Plus, behind-the-scenes access you won't get anywhere else. Follow us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube. Make sure you don't miss a thing.
Sean Joyce, Daryl McKee, happy to be with you here live from the Nutana Curling Club. Round robin action. This is Pool A for the women. Nova Scotia coming in with a record of 2-0. And with a big end in the fifth, taking the lead for the first time in this game, looking to move 3-0.
Hair tight here. Hair tight. Okay, line's
First
good.
stone brought
Line's
into the
good.
top 12 foot. Now the corner guard attempt.
Haley. Haley, hard. Go, go, go. Hard. Hard. Hard, Haley, hard. Okay, good sweep.
And we're looking to get that a little farther off the line, but it is protecting still the edge of the 4 foot probably.
Okay, so like 2 or 3 feet more. Yeah, you got it.
I heard somebody say 2-3 feet more, so the call here was to come into the rings again.
Yeah, that might be dictated by the fact they only got this first one top 12 foot. If they were top 4, they might have thrown a guard.
Back 4, back 8.
But maybe don't think it's guardable at this point.
15-2, knife if you can.
Well, look at the curl on that as it comes in from the hog line in.
Yep, right over stuff. Hard.
Pretty to watch.
Okay, good judge. 15-2.
Great shot.
Marissa Boucher being asked to make the hit on the stone in the 12 foot and roll behind the corner. It'll probably jam the one that's behind it. It's not important to make the double here. They'd like to get something buried.
Yes, hard. Hard. No roll.
Does make contact with the stone in the 4 foot when they all come to rest. I think the red stone at the edge is still shot rock, and the yellow is open, but out past the corner guard. This is what we were talking about a couple ends ago. As long as you roll past that guard, you almost can guarantee you're going to have a chance to draw on the next one.
Yeah, that was a great shot by Marissa because she got that one off the top of the 4 foot and stuck her shooter in place. So.
Okay, 10-3. Just a little wide.
Makes the hit but loses the shooter. And here comes the come around.
Probably going to have, Site's probably going to have to leave this one a little higher in the house to get it buried since that guard's so long, but she can get it
Out of room right now.
top house. She can certainly have a chance to bury this pretty good.
Probably not even critical to be shot rock yet this early. She's full 12 buried.
Hard, guys, Kate. Go, Marissa.
You can almost use it as a second guard, come around it again, and worry about that red one later on in the end.
Good sweep, 16-4.
Yeah, I think it's really early to worry about getting shot rock. You got the hammer right now, so it's a good shot.
Probably didn't quite bury all of it, but it would be tough to go after it, and it is second shot, so Cassidy Blades asking for the come around.
Yeah, she's going to get a little aggressive here and come around that one top 12 foot. And it is kind of acting as a semi-center guard, so not a bad call.
Comes up a little bit short, but it still protects some more of that 4 foot.
Yeah, it's still a usable rock, so it's not a bad spot. It's in that,
and it's a problem rock for the team out of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yeah, they're going to have to make a choice now here whether they come around and with the outturn and get buried or or start worrying about all of those red rocks in the rings.
And 5.
She's chosen to hit this one and sit 2 for, or try and sit 2 for now.
She gave them the option, and this came from the other end. They wanted to play this one. I didn't see whether it was Site herself that asked for it or whether it was a consensus.
No roll, no roll.
But what I will say is they made a quick decision, and as a career skip myself, nothing drives me nuts more than when you ask down the other end, what do you want to play? And they say, whatever you want. I asked you for a reason. And they made a quick decision there. So.
As a person who's skipped a fair bit, and the one they call the little general when I skip, I don't usually ask. Probably better at third in my position now.
A little spin at the end too, gets it a little farther in behind. That came by that stone at the top that I think they said was just biting by a ton, and it is 7/8 buried.
Yeah, it was a great shot.
Yep.
Perfect weight, and you can get great results with that kind of throw.
Haley Gooser being asked to make the double on the 2 reds.
Yep. 9. Hard.
Catches one, but just by the second one. Shooter rolls off enough that it is open now, though. Cassidy Blades looking to bring another one in.
She's going to have to be careful if she doesn't set up a double on those 2 reds, and it's going to bring that top yellow one into play.
Yeah, hard to Christmas tree this, though. It looks like the gap between the yellow and the red might be a little too wide for that. Could just elect for the straight guard here. This is still on the yellow.
The weight's good, though, so it's going to finish.
That was the problem with trying to come in there, is that there's just a little bit too much room between the yellow and the red to Christmas tree it. There's a good look at it. So she's left her the double. Boy, she could almost make the double and roll behind.
Yeah, I think she's got the room, but she's got to be reasonably tight to that yellow one on the top 12 foot, but I think there's certainly room there.
Interesting, she drives it by the stone in the 4 foot, but the shooter rolls in behind that tight yellow that she threw on her first one. So now the 2 yellow stones in the rings are both at least partly behind cover.
Yeah, you just have to go there.
Yeah, she doesn't have a lot of room to draw around and not leave a double again, so she's gonna have to be a little careful here. I'm a little surprised they haven't made a play on that one on the top 12 foot, because it is half open with this much curl. You could certainly hit it with lighter weight, but
it's probably late now.
Well, she could play the double on those 2, but it is a little thin.
Yeah.
And if she misses it, she's probably given up a deuce. So she's chosen to come in here. If she can get this in a good spot, she can eliminate at least one of those two yellows.
This is a tough shot. It'd be tempting here if you were going to continue to stay aggressive just to play a straight guard on this one. That's tight for line early. They got to go. Brusher's jumping it. Boy, good job from the Brushers to hold it as well as they did. It's going to rub the yellow stone, but it might, by doing that, end up in front of the shot stone.
And that's going to give them another chance for a double and double to 6-3.
Like just a hair high. Yeah.
Looks like she's choosing to hit it high side, which I mean broom side when I say high side.
I think Peel.
Which will roll her behind
I think Peel.
the
Just a
corner.
hair
She
high.
might end up with
Really close to
3 buried. Might be a little thinner than that, but she'd be close to that if she makes the double.
Yeah, if she's making it from the high side, she's going over the top. She might lose the shooter altogether with, she said, Peel. Boy, you got to make the double here. A little scary to play high side if you ever just jammed it and stayed in front of it.
Yep.
Well, they've called the brush on right away.
Yeah, I don't think he's hitting it high side. No,
Maybe
a little
just
bit.
enough high side to jam it.
Oh,
Nope, she's
good.
got it.
Wow, great shot.
Fantastic shot. Rolled over just edge to edge with her own. So there's a thin double.
Yeah.
Even if you make it, you're probably out in the open, and there should be a chance for 2 back.
Yeah, it's really thin.
Yeah, it's probably a quarter rock to a third rock double, so it's not easy. And of course, the thinner you have to hit that first one, as you know, Sean, it's
pretty thin.
gets in your mind that I don't want to flash. So these are hard doubles.
Okay, Peel. Really thin. Get the double.
Big shot here for Cassidy Blades. Got 3 last end to take the lead for the first time. Needs a double here just to make sure she doesn't give them all back.
She threw it aggressively.
Whoa! Lily! Hard.
Might be a little thin on the first one. Catches it, but just behind the second one and through the back.
Wow, that was a good throw, aggressive throw. They probably just could have got on that a little earlier for curl, and she makes it.
She didn't put the broom down right away, so I think she was looking at the split, but she's just going to play the straight draw for 3.
Yeah, definitely the split is there. The risk with that, when you're throwing those, is you tend to want to throw a little more
I'm fine with
weight
it.
back
If we don't
line.
draw
And if
weight
you
and we just
don't
tap
make
it, it's fine.
contact with that
I think I
top
want
one,
to play my out turn
sometimes
at it.
a chance for
you
4
like the
turns into a 2, so she's going to take the more sure.
I'm not sure
draw
she
for
is.
3.
They're still talking about it.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
fine with the end.
Yeah.
Just T-line. Okay, a little bit more. We're going to play the split.
Yeah, she's changed her mind, but she did indicate she's going to throw T-line
Think that's
late, so it
close?
should give her the
Try to get to the inside.
sure 3 if, as long as she
Okay,
throws
even
that
if we just tap it
T-line
here, it's
late.
fine.
Exactly. As long as
Make
she's
sure you
got
let her know.
T-line, she should get one of the 2 stones in.
All right, we're going to go for that 420, 415. Okay, I think similar to my last.
It's a good call, as long as you're cognizant of the fact that you just want to throw T-line weight. It's pretty low risk.
Final stone for the team out of Newfoundland and Labrador. They're sitting 2 right now, which
Okay,
would be
curl.
enough to retake the lead.
Curl.
Looking for 3.
Needs a curl.
This is stronger than what she had talked about.
Yep.
Yeah, she needs to make
Okay.
contact, I think.
Oh, Satay!
Not going to make contact there. Just rubs her own stone in the rings, but it's going to be through the back. It'll just be 2, but that 2 points is enough for the team from Newfoundland to take the lead. It's now 5-4 after 6 ends of play. Nova Scotia with last rock in the 7th.
The live sports experience is changing. Teams and facilities are under pressure to provide online and in-venue entertainment. IKS Live has the right team to deliver. We provide service across North America and produce the best fan experience, in the seats or streaming to you. IKS Live continues to bring you the best seat in the house.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You can throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
Well, an exciting end to that 6th end, but it ends up as just 2 points on the board for Newfoundland. Another lead change, though. And the first stone here called for into the rings. This is going to be really deep, though.
That's okay, Marissa. Got it.
All the way through the back.
Yeah, it's going to give Nova Scotia a chance for a free corner guard with no risks. So they're going to go after their deuce here.
Where? All you. Three. Hold on. Running. Line's good. Curl a bit. Whoa. Line's good. Hey, really good. 17-3.
Gets the corner guard up. Another attempt to bring one into that button area. Well, this is always interesting, Daryl, when you get into a situation like this. I do lots of broadcasting at the men's and women's level, and it's even more interesting to me to see how these teams want to approach it, because there has been some fairly high-level strategy calls here. Well, you're into that. Do you want to be one down with last rock, or one up without? It's
Yeah, and it is really to me, it's a team preference. Most guys, it's kind of, I don't know exactly what the analytics are on it, but at this level, and it does change depending on what level you're at, on what those analytics look like, if you're better to be one up without or one down with. But my preference is always to be one up, so I'd go for my deuce. I think we have better results being up, but every team is different, and depends what their success has been in the past. And
I think it can depend on the surface and the rocks you're playing with, too. Like, the surface that we have here and the rocks that we have, certainly conducive to getting a deuce.
absolutely, you're right. It certainly does make a difference.
So being one down, if you've got last rock, not the worst position to be in. You get into this spot, so you know that Nova Scotia has played this like they're willing to try to get their two. Even if they get one, if they get one, they're not in great shape coming home. Newfoundland would love to see a single point go on the board here. Either way, if they steal one, they're up 2. If they force one, they've got last rock.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's exactly what their strategy will be.
Yes! Hard, Marissa, hard!
And all the shots are out here on this ice to that as well, to your point as well. So, yeah, if you know, certainly you can generate a deuce anywhere with any guard or anywhere on this ice surface. So that's the nice part of it. Doesn't limit you in what you can play.
Well, and there's the rollout. So an early opportunity for Nova Scotia to try to use that corner guard, see if they can't generate the deuce here. As much as Newfoundland would like to force a single, that's the other side of that. Whenever you're trying to force a single, you got to be real careful that you don't force them to score 3.
Yeah,
we've seen that before.
Yep. Yeah, you can't be too aggressive on that side. That's for sure.
Oh, but it happens all the time.
Oh, yes, it does.
We don't want to see a blank end. We want to make sure somebody scores, and it can end up in a big number in a hurry.
I think I catch too much.
Gets that dead buried. It is behind the tee line.
What do you like?
Oh, there she didn't get a firm decision this time. I like either. Which one are you going to make?
That's why we pay you the big bucks as a skip. You got to make those decisions.
But you know, I get the dilemma. You peel the guard. You're not giving up 3 if you're peeling the guard, but really they split the rings. And granted, it's a long time to hold it, but you're probably either giving up 2 or a blank. Neither one of them's good for you.
Yeah, again, either one of these calls is good. It just, again, gets to be preference.
This is plan B. She's going to get them both. Just going to leave the one hanging around, though.
And the corner, so does bring a 3 into play now for sure.
It does.
Yeah. Got it.
Got to keep this one in front of the tee line, though. You come back in the tee line now with another rock already at the back 12. She probably plays the freeze this time.
Yeah, it almost forces her to just about.
Yeah.
Back 4, T. Step. Yeah, a little bit. Curl. Hard curl, yep.
Plenty of room by the corner, but you know it'll move big coming into the house.
Yeah, it's going to finish nice.
There it
Here. Looks
goes.
like she's got nice weight.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, did that ever finish good?
Good.
Great shot.
15-5.
Dead buried and, you know, a good foot and a half in front of the tee line. That's a great stone. Well, that's the 3 options. You got the run back, you got the freeze, or you can play the back one.
9-5 if you rather. Okay.
Yeah, none of them are awesome options, to be honest, for Newfoundland, so she's got to make something decent here.
Having said that, if she absolutely sticks the run back, suddenly she's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, definitely will flip the end around.
Curl. Curl.
Peel the guard and get the back one.
That would be a good option.
Oh, just over the top of the back one.
Wow, that was big.
Yeah.
Bobby. Kate.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It is still going to be, she's going to have to hold the, to get her 3, she's going to have to be still pretty solid on the, with 4 rocks to come to hold it and not leave a double or a hit and roll out, but certainly got that opportunity now.
Curl. Just here. 15-7. Oh.
Stephanie Atherton with her first stone, putting it pretty much right where they tapped the broom. Not really much you could do to not leave some kind of double with where the first 2 rocks were. This is not an easy one. There's a lot of room between those 2 rocks. And she's got to hit it, you know, a little bit on the high side. So her shooter's not going to be a factor here after it's done. Even if it stays, it'll be second or third. Second if she makes the double.
Yep. 9-6. Yep. Yep. Really close,
Like they're gonna over curl, it's close. Just curls past the face enough that it drives it by the back one. Nova Scotia continues to sit 2.
11.
Yeah, so she could ignore this one and just come around it. She's choosing to hit it. And
11.
And she can't curl any more than just to the nose. So if she rolls back to the center line at all, she's going to group the rocks a little bit more. It might be a better chance for a double. This has got a lot of rotation, and she was back.
Lily, hard. Hard, Lily.
They might have been better off to go for the nose hit on their back one rather than to try to chip the front one, because now they're going to lose the back one altogether.
yeah, that definitely shifts the end around. Now Newfoundland can hit and split the house and get a force if she can make a couple of hit and sticks here.
Just 10-5.
Which would be certainly her goal. As you said, either score one or have somebody score.
run for a minute here. Should run for a minute.
Whoa!
Curl.
Curl! Yep! Yep! Yep!
And we'll get enough curl to hit right on the nose, stays right there. The angle's okay for a double. There's a lot of room between them.
Yeah, it's a lot of room.
Get as far as
Have to throw it pretty firm, I think.
And the coach not loving the call, so they're going to have an interaction here.
I'm okay with the double with the hit and roll, but if you don't think you're gonna be forced to one, we can always draw back 8 foot behind this one here for shot rock. I just want to show you your options, okay? Whatever you're comfortable with. I like both calls are good. So which one do you feel like?
Not a bad idea to bring up the options.
Still possibility line.
But
Yep.
overall, I don't
But drawing around, you have possibility reduced if that's important for you guys at this point.
Yeah, do you like that?
Your
I like
call.
that.
Drawing?
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, probably like there.
Looks like they've decided they like the coach's option, and they're going to come around that one on the right-hand side of the shooter. As we see it now,
Back 8,
and try and
like behind there.
you just got to really be half 8 foot to have a shot rock. So he also indicated you can certainly come back 8 foot, which would
Yeah, just
force
pull back 8.
Newfoundland to probably try and freeze to it. They could play the run back. We'll see what if they make it good, what they do.
Close.
Line's good, all you.
Line's good. And okay, all
Line's
you.
good.
Back 8. Lily's
Cassidy
now.
blades with her first here. She does have last rock in this 7th end. She's got a lot of room by that stone in the top 12 that she's
You really
trying to
gotta
bury
curl.
around.
Yeah, Lily, just. Yep.
On the one hand, they want to curl, they want to sweep it for curl, but I think they're a little concerned it might be too deep. Does stop in the 8 foot.
Just 10-5, and we can roll really big here. Just don't want to leave anything.
Looks like just pretty much edge to edge to that one on the top 12 foot. And certainly Newfoundland doesn't have to stick here to get the force, so they'll be happy just to hit it and roll out.
Okay, I'm fine with a little bit less. Here, Les. Yep. Yeah, I'm fine with this. We have room anyway. Little roll your way is good, Haley. Yeah.
Final stone for Kaylee Locke without last rock here. A chance to hit and sit 3.
Curl.
Straight.
No.
Yep. Straight.
Makes the hit. Shooter will roll across, and how far will it spin?
You think take a wider path or
Whatever you like. I mean, you
It's
just
hard
threw
to
that
tell
one,
whether that's
so-
biting or not. It's close.
Okay, you got it.
You can see a little bit of white from the overhead, but the camera's over top of the button, and you need to look directly over top of that rock. If it matters, then Nova Scotia's in some trouble.
like a bit less.
She's got a draw. Just made it on her first one. Needs a good bite of the 8 foot here. She can pick up her single point. We'll be all tied up coming home.
Yeah, it looks like she's taking the same path as her first one, which is a good, smart move. You know exactly what you threw on your first one, so you just got to replicate that.
Full 8, yeah.
Rock certainly looked in from that angle. Nice to have the same shot twice in a row, not just for the skimmer, but for the brushers as well. They just saw this path.
Line's good, all you. Same path.
All you. Yep. Hard then.
All you.
Yep. Hard. Hey, all you.
Full 8.
Line's good.
Just full 8. 15, 4.
Brushers backing away now. They'll just walk it into that tee line area. Cassidy Blades with her final stone picks up the single point. We are all tied up after 7 ends of play. Kaylee Locke and the team out of Newfoundland Labrador will have last rock coming home.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You can throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice, you leave behind a legacy.
The Canadian curling trials. The thing we cried for, fought for, thrown 1,000 rocks for. The podium, just out of reach. But we can almost taste the gold medals in our teeth. Defiant, we take down giants with nothing but the stones in our hands. And in the stands, they wait and see who among us will earn the right to wear the maple leaf.
Sean Joyce, Daryl McKee here with you. It is round robin action from the U-18 Curling Championships, Utana Curling Club. And 7 ends has decided absolutely nothing. We're all tied up playing 8, and Newfoundland had last rock when we started the game. They've got last rock here in the 8th.
Hey, all you, line's okay.
Yeah, it's really been a well-called game, and it's coming down. It's going to come down to probably last rock here.
Yeah, well, we're set up here for a good start to this 8th end as well. They've got the long centered. Granted, it is an inch or two off the line, but those long guards are not easy.
Yeah, that is the harder one to throw. Or riskier for us in clubs when you have to buy a round if you hog it. So they don't have that issue here, but
no. Well, and if they do, it wouldn't be as expensive a round. I don't know what the milk maybe.
Yeah.
I dare say it looks like we're going to have some rocks in play here. We've got the one center guard, another attempt now. This one's out there a long ways and got to stop. T is not what they wanted to hear. And before I started talking about this one being a little bit heavy, with the come around attempt was deep behind the T line as well. So there's going to be some rocks in play here, it looks like, in this 8th end. This is where it can really be a big deal that first stone isn't touching the center line, because if you happen to rub it on the way by, unless you completely remove it from play, that's perfectly legal. No, she's not in any danger of rubbing the guard.
Haley.
Deciding now it might be better off not to hit it at all, so you don't push it in behind.
Yeah, now if they can get a guard on this, it's going to put some pressure on Newfoundland for sure.
Yeah, this is the 5th stone of the end, so they can start making play on guards after this.
Line's good. 2. Hey, 3. 2, 3. Right here. 3. Line's good. Oh, running.
It's not even really critical to guard that stone in the 8 foot. You could get half underneath the long guard.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Couldn't have hit that one anyway because she's kind of risked to jam it on her own on the side of the buttons. But it's a good guard. She's going to peel the top one now, Newfoundland, it looks like.
It'd still be tempting to peel the tight one.
Yeah, I think that one is certainly more risk.
That might be what they're going to get. Oh no. That is not what you wanted to see. The feather tick that really didn't move it very far.
Yeah, that was hard to do, actually.
Yeah.
Very unlucky.
Yeah, if they had the decision to make over again, they might have tried to sweep that a little different, get by that stone, and at least pick out the tighter guard. They're going to have a little work to do to clean things up now, and if this draw is made, Nova Scotia could be guarding for the rest of this end. Needs to get shot rock here if she can. This is going to come up a little short. Boy, they carried that a long ways.
They sure did. I thought that had no chance to even get close, and they almost got shot rock.
Well, and it ends up in a not bad spot too, because you play anything on those rocks in the rings, and that one's coming straight back into the yellow at the back of the forefoot.
Yeah, they got the line
they
up
lined
directly
them up
on the back one, which is fantastic for them.
See, this is nose. I think straight peel for now. They put it back.
I think we're going to have the coaches' interaction right now.
Yeah, but this jams all day, right? And if we just play it for the take.
And that's the one thing about the coaches' interactions. You get one per end, but you can't carry them over, so you only get one per end.
The clock does continue to run, but lots of time.
I don't mind. I just want to have you attack in both ways.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody in any game so far really getting tight for time, so they've done a good job of managing their time across the whole competition so far.
No, I don't want to play that game yet.
Yeah.
Like, I think this, right?
Yeah.
I think this.
I think we got to clear up the front. Now, that high guard is not our trouble one.
No, I know.
I agree with Sandra. The question is, how do you clear up the front?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is tricky at this point.
Let's try to clear
Without
up.
being able to hit the inside of that one that's sitting on the center
You need to be
line.
able to get at these eventually.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to hit the
like
inside.
peel,
Like,
Kaylee?
if you lose your own out of the back four, it's not bad. I mean, that rock's not helping you back there, so you play the peel on the guard, try to bring it back and clip one of those reds out of the top. And if you happen to drive it by both of them and lose your own out of the back, well, that rock's not helping you anyway. You got to roll your shooter off the center line here.
Yeah, she's got to hit it pretty thick to do that, so
Yeah.
there's some risk here.
Doesn't even matter which of those two redstones. It's the overlap in the lineup that's getting you. You'd love to pick one of them on the way by. Boy, they're gonna. This is gonna over curl on them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would have wanted to hit it on that side.
Yeah, no, I don't think she did. I don't think that was her plan.
That they didn't sweep it at all.
Mm-hmm. Now they're in a bit of trouble for sure. I do think she can still get to that one on the side of the button with the in-turn, just
She
because
can.
it curls so much, but it won't be easy. And it'll have to be soft weight, so.
Gave it some. Just a two. Line's good.
But it might be what she's forced into
Yeah.
already in the end, which is also probably not what she wants.
I'm not sure that I would have played this guard either.
Just gotta stop.
It might work out for them.
Made it good. Made it very good.
Hey. Peel.
They're going to keep peeling for now and trying to clear up the front a little bit.
Yeah, there's a few good things that can happen there just because of the angles. If she gets the yellow across, or the red across the top of the yellow, it's coming back and should move something red.
Yep. Oh.
It'll be just a little thin on the first one, though. Goes across the top.
She's in a bit of a quandary here, Nova Scotia. I do think that guard that she threw is the right play for now, and to replace it, just because if she gives her a free run at this one on the top 8 foot, she can move that one off the side of the button, and even if she does that, it opens it up for her to score later. It's not great angles, but that one on the side of the button is definitely problematic and not easy to outdraw.
Yeah.
Probably more. Line's good. Careful. Same spot.
Again, it's a bit of a catch-22 if she
Yeah.
throws this guard and Newfoundland chooses to play the one on the side of the button with the intern and moves it, then she's limits her shots.
Yeah, I don't know what she's got left after that.
But it's high risk for Newfoundland.
18-3.
I mean, they put that guard in as good a position as they could, though, because if she does make that shot and happens to make it, with that guard where it is, there's a stagger to the rock in the top of the 8-foot. You could actually come around both of them and still catch half the button.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
The other thing I'm saying is play this now.
They made those guards
She's coming
perfect.
here
those
on her
last
next.
Yeah, if you get to the center line on that, it's not really helping you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's make this then. The other thing is we can play it into this one in top 8, right? What do you
I'm
like?
just looking over to see now their coach's interaction's gone to see if Brad's
Okay,
he's
think I like
putting any
making it
signals
over
out
top.
from the stands,
See if
but
we can get this one going.
he's under too many blankets to give any signals.
Yep, that way was good.
He's still looking, though.
Yeah.
He hasn't closed his eyes.
No.
We have time.
It looks like they're going to discuss it a bit further within the team. Because like I say, they've used their coach's interaction already, so.
We've still got 4.5 minutes and just the 3 rocks left to come, so plenty of time.
Well, what are you thinking?
I don't have much time.
Okay.
I think the discussion there, just from that gesture, is she talking about the double peel on the red guards?
Certainly looking at it.
They're closer
I'm fine
together.
with that too, right?
It's
I think
definitely an
that's good.
easier double
I
peel.
just think that we have to move 2.
If you move those 2, there's no way she can guard everything with 1 rock again.
No, I'm just not sure what this long one's isn't. At this late in the end, I'm not sure this long one's hurting her that much.
Well, you're right. It's not. Although from the hack end, it's in your eyesight. It's probably not in the way, but it's a distraction.
Yeah, for sure.
You make the double peel, it certainly creates the problem for Nova Scotia. Where do you put the next rock? You
Yeah,
can't take away both sides with 1 shot.
Yeah, they've got to decide which side they guard for sure.
9-5. Oh. 9-5. Close. Yep. Oh, whoa. Yes. Keep going.
Oh, that was not a lot of weight to try double peel, and now you don't have anything on the intern side.
No, she sealed that side off, so they're definitely going to be guarding what they had just guarded, I think. Guarding that out-turn side again.
Yeah. Does she even have the run on the yellow if it came down to that? Maybe.
Maybe, but it's really tight. She's probably better to play she does have the red straight back that just rolled there and pick them off and count the back one. So that's probably, it might end up be what she's going to be left with a draw straight to the pin.
If you guard here,
Even like up here is
like block the draw.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah, okay.
Putting it
I
there,
think if you guard here, she's probably got to peel the guard one more time and hope she's got a shot. She's going to try to peel it into something.
Yeah. Okay, you
But if
got
this
it.
was your last shot here for Cassidy Blades, you might just tap up that red.
Cass,
And I think Kevin Ouellette wants to talk about this right now.
we're going like top 12 to block their draw.
Yeah. Nova Scotia's going to definitely use their coach's interaction here. So it'll be interesting to see his advice.
I'm a big fan of leaving it right there. So if she ever makes a double, you're taking away this draw path.
Yeah.
Okay.
You leave it, if we leave it where we want to, we leave it for a tap.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying.
Yeah. See, where you talking about putting it right now? I'm a little careful. I'm a little worried that if they make the double, it takes away your draw pass. I'd like a draw. You guys like the red tap up there? And if they slash it, we still have the red guards up there to come around afterwards. So just play a tap.
So tap like the one we can see.
Yeah, just get to the nose and tap it up, I think.
Okay.
Okay? Do you guys like that better?
Yeah.
Yep. Probably like.
Yeah, just like T.
Yeah.
Now, where are you taking for the draw of the button?
I definitely like the tap if it was her last shot.
Over there. It might be a
It's,
little bit less, okay?
you got to be a little bit more careful with it playing it here.
There you go.
I agree. This might be one rock too early, but it's really going to depend on what kind of angle she leaves when she taps it, because right now the angles are really in her favor.
Yeah.
And that could change.
Well, it sounds like they don't want to play the guard because they're afraid that, and she might, they're afraid that Kaylee Locke might just come right around it and try to catch the edge of the button, and then you're forced into a much tougher shot.
Yeah, again, it's that catch-22. It's like you seal your draw pass, but you also take away their draw pass.
What's she going to play and what's she going to make? Like.
Yeah. This point right now, Kaylee's going to have to make a great shot to win this game. One way or the other, no matter what she does here.
Line's looking pretty nice.
Yeah, it's looking pretty close, and weight looks pretty close too.
Hard, keep going hard. Hard, Anna, hard.
She kept really good angles.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to do anything without losing the yellow at the back.
And hard not
to dead stuff it in the button, yeah.
So that was a great shot.
Just nose.
You might have to try it though, right?
Nose.
Probably does, just to try and at
That
least
or
move
this
stuff
right
around.
now, but
Try and give yourself a shot.
this is my
Because
last.
right now,
Okay. Just nose.
she's got
Feel.
really tough shots.
Feel.
Even if you jam it, like red onto red, and jam the one on the button, it's, well,
You think there's any chance
it might
she
spin
can,
back to the pin.
Yeah, you think there's any chance you can hit this top one thin enough to hit it over the top and kill those middle back two?
No.
It's tough. It's really tough. She'd have to hit it hard and probably only a third of a rock and have enough weight to do it.
Yeah, there's just not room by the yellow up front. If you could spin it off even a little bit, just give yourself a couple inches more room. Like it's going to jam pretty solid, but it might roll to the edge of the 4-foot pole. You do not want to be on the outside.
Hard, girl.
We're
It's
gonna
actually
see, 'cause
might
she's going to hit it thin.
Might be thin enough to get the double.
Oh.
I think it touched the second one, but just.
Just ticked it, yeah.
Start? Yeah. Well, like, because right now she has this. That's all she has. Well, she has
Right now she's got the draw. Even if she didn't throw Nova Scotia, she's got the draw or the run back double.
Right now she does have the draw.
So that's really
Run
what
back
she's got to
double's
look
tough
at.
because she's got to go over the top on it.
For sure. But she doesn't have to keep her shooter. Because she could hit that with those angles. She could hit that one on the side of the button over top, that back one.
Yeah, true.
But it's not easy.
Put it like
Definitely not easy.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you give her the same shot, but.
There?
Yeah, you got it.
I think this is a good call. If she can put it in a similar location, because I think it was really hard to get all three of those out with one rock, and that's all she's got left now.
Because right now she has like a run double, which, so like top 12. Yeah, like top 12 on Anna's side is center of it.
Cassidy Blades came into this game with a record of 2-0, trying to stay atop Pool A.
And it came all the way back to center.
I think you're really, I don't know if there's anything to guard here. I guess if she comes in tight enough, she takes away the run back double, right? If you can get it just around that yellow one, between the yellow and that top red on the top 8-foot, she takes away the run double. It's really going to force her to draw.
Well, and if she stays that much on the outside of it, she probably takes away the draw path to the button when she's going to be as deep as she is.
Yeah, she could actually take both away if she makes this, gets this just to the edge of the line, top 12-foot.
Whoa, Lily's rock, Lily's rock, Lily's rock. 16, okay, whoa, just leave it.
She's got really good weight.
If they get that in just a little bit more. pretty close to taking it away. She might have just left her the run back double. But it'd be tough. It's tight.
The triple does not look easy.
Yeah, I think everything's jamming on that back one is the problem, which is the one she's going to have to count.
She's going to have to draw. Now, I mean, this will go. There's certainly enough movement at the end she can get to the edge of the button. It's not going to look great visually from the hacks.
No.
But so this is one, and you hear players talk about it all the time. You got to believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's certainly there. It's going to have to be very good, though.
Once we're by, just make sure we got.
Rushers are going to have to put this on the tee line and just trust that it'll curl enough at the end. And certainly from what we've seen, it will.
Yeah,
she doesn't even need to be that tight by the 1 and the 12 foot, I don't think. Final stone for Kaylee Locke here in the 8th. Needs a good piece of the button with her final stone to pick up the win. Rushers are staying close. The line's close.
Line's close.
Haven't put a brush down to this one yet. Looks like it might be just a little bit strong. And it will slide harmlessly through the 4-foot. It actually ends up as a steal at 2. Put it in the books as a 7-5 win for Nova Scotia. They steal the 8th end to pick up the win, and that keeps them at 3-0. I want to thank everyone for joining us here this afternoon. We've got action continuing on here on the live stream all weekend long. There'll be another draw in about an hour and 3/4, and continuing on through round robin play the rest of today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Playoffs to follow. On behalf of myself, Sean Joyce, Daryl McKee, we want to thank you for joining us and look forward to seeing you for the rest of the weekend.